To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
Come on, everybody, here we go!
Best day ever!
You are a queen!
Never tell me the odds.
Excelsior!
Ohana means family. Some people are worth melting for.
Soaring to tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Hyperion Review Live. Allow me a chance to introduce my co-host. I know how to speak English. The woman who sold videos of Kylo Ren humping a wall to backdoor Disney, that is Danny. The man who seriously thinks the movie Avatar needs more hunting scenes above me is Frankie. And an individual who secretly loves the Chupacabra, that is Steve up in the corner there. My name is John, and we're going to be taking a peer through a dirty Main Street window onto some Disney entertainment. But before we do that, let's take a moment to introduce our guest host this week, a gentleman who seriously needs to re-examine his beliefs on the Frozen attraction in the Norway Pavilion. His name is Scott, and he comes to us from the Dyslexic podcast. Scott, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. I was not expecting that call out.
I didn't know what it meant, but I'm laughing too.
Well, Scott, tell us about yourself if you want to tell us about your show before we get into the meat and potatoes here.
Of course. So my name is Scott, also known as Dyslexic. I have a theme park-based podcast that covers Disney, Universal, Cedar Fair, Six Flags, and all other parks around the country and out of the country as well recently. And we do different kinds of episodes every week. It is a podcast that is has a mission to help show the diversity and inclusion of the theme park fan base and allow voices of all people to be lifted up and throw their opinions in there about theme parks, and it's just to have fun and talk about nerdy stuff.
Cool. And Danny, you've had the chance to frequent this show. You've been on it how many times? Once, twice?
Once, yeah. I've been on it once, and I argued.
And you weren't invited back?
No, I can't. I was like, never again. No, Scott made the mistake of asking me to join an argument on what is better, Country Bear Jamboree or Tiki Room, and I had Country Bear Jamboree, and it got violent. It got
Wow. Country bears are gross.
I mean, that's I forgot about that shit show that we did. That's to be fair, though, because everybody knows under new management is the much superior Tiki Room. And if that was up against Country Bears, we know what. Yeah, I see that face, Scott. And everybody, that's been Scott. He is no longer going to be on our show this evening. All right. Well, Scott, we have invited you here to join us for our March Madness discussion. We are trying to whittle down who the most marvelous misfit is. And tonight, you very well could have literally swayed the vote to the finals for this evening. So between the five of us, no pressure at all. Between the five of us, we are going to be voting and debating who is the better marvelous misfit, Kronk or Timon and Pumba. Again, no pressure.
Okay.
All right. So this evening, because this show has no substance and we have no idea what we're doing, we're going to start with Steve, who's in this corner.
Hi.
And Steve's going to get us going on Timon and Pumba or Kronk.
Also, Danny's dad, Sasquatch is watching you. So thank you for that.
Hi, Dad. Thanks for watching.
So Timon and Pumba arguably left an unerasable mark on all of our childhoods, right? You know, Hakuna Matata. That's like everybody knows what that means. Like everybody.
What does it mean, Steve?
That means no more worries for the rest of your days.
You pass.
Problem-free philosophy. Okay? Hakuna Matata. All right? But I have a soft spot, left ventricle, for Patrick Warburton. He was super influential on me with comedy because I love his kind of really dry but in your face humor. I mean, in everything he's in, even when he played the Tick and Family Guy, like his humor is my favorite humor. So just on principle and loyalty, I have to go with Kronk.
All right. One vote for Kronk. Let's see. Frankie, why don't you tell us what your thoughts are? For the record, Scott, you're going last, so you have time to formulate your opinion here.
Yeah, I know. And he chooses.
Plenty of opinions.
He chooses me, and this is the hardest matchup that we faced so far for me personally, because I love Kronk and I love Timon and Pumbaa. But I will actually have to give it to the greater of the two, and that's Timon and Pumbaa, because they have an entire movie after them too, which makes The Lion King so much better.
It was a cash grab. It wasn't even good.
No,
Have you
it
ever
was,
heard of Kronk's New Groove?
I didn't say
Yeah.
TV show, and they were in a TV show too.
That
but
wasn't a
yes.
TV. It was Kronk's New Groove was a sequel.
Yeah.
I thought it was a TV show.
No, there was
No,
a
there is a
movie.
TV show.
I have.
Yeah.
I was about to say I have not seen Kronk's New Groove, the movie. Then
Oh,
I've seen the
okay.
TV show. I've seen the TV show. Well, either way, I don't care. My decision's final, and you can't persuade me, Danny. So I am going with Timon and Pumbaa, and I am sticking to it.
Wow. Why can't you just accept that you lost?
So I want to point out for a moment here that not only
Trumpy.
did he anger Danny by voting the way she's not going to, but he also pissed off his wife because Ray is still not in the final discussion this evening. And she is calling him out in the chat.
Y'all don't know how much flack I've been getting for that this past week.
All right, Danny, what do you got for us?
All right. You know, Timon
Even
and
though we
Pumbaa,
all know
like-
what you're going to say.
Oh, yeah. Timon and Pumbaa, classic. You know, and yeah, everybody knows Hakuna Matata. But everybody wants to try Kronk's spinach puffs. Find me one person who doesn't look at those spinach puffs and have a mini foodgasm because of
Hey,
those.
Peyton,
My son.
Squeak, squeaker, squeaking.
come here, hold on.
You're mixed.
I have a question for you. Danny
squeak,
wants
squeak,
to know if
squeaker.
you want to try some spinach puffs.
Spinach puff.
Spinach puffs.
Okay.
Oh, you don't care? Okay.
Yeah, see, there we go.
That is not the way I expected that to go at all.
Hey, wait,
But-
bring her back and ask her if she wants to try some grubs from Timon and Pumbaa. That sounds more
Do you want
appetizing.
some grubs from Timon and Pumbaa? Slimy yet satisfying? Somewhat. Okay. That's not how that's
Okay, that wasn't helpful at all.
John, this is really showing your parenting skills, if anything
I
else.
know. I'm terrible at this.
But Kronk is the original himbo. Like Kronk is the definition of a himbo.
Yeah.
So,
Himbo.
yeah, a himbo. You know what a himbo is, right?
Himbo is
I
a thing.
don't.
No, please
This is
enlighten
the
us.
first time I've
Okay,
heard this.
John was around when English was created. He is not up to date with slang.
Himbo it's like a male bimbo. So like a buff dude with like 2 brain cells.
Okay.
So
Squeak,
Kronk is the
squeaker.
original himbo. So I gotta give it to my man's Kronk.
Oh, squeak, squeaker, squeak it.
All right.
Do you guys
Well,
think he speaks squirrel in bed?
Squeak, 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 squeaky. Yes.
Moving on.
He's just like, I just
know what to
squeaked
say to that.
everywhere.
Oh, you
What is
squeaked
this?
at my eye.
can you get me a towel? There's squeak all over me.
We're ruining Scott. We're over here just
Guys,
like
it's okay.
ruining-
We're a minute into the show. YouTube's not going to kick us off. We've done.
Yep,
we're
we get 1 minute before.
They
Before we
actually
get
just
kicked off.
they actually just changed the algorithm back to where it will not demonetize you because of shows like Good Game Grumps. Shout out, boys. Yeah,
not a sponsor.
not a sponsor, but God, I wish they were. Oh,
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Actually, I got that just in case.
of course you do.
All right, so I'm gonna give you mine here. This
Love
is
you,
tough.
buddy.
I'm with Frankie on this one, man. I want to vote for Kronk. I want to vote for Patrick Warburton because he is literally the last voice you hear before we broadcast into THR Live every week. But here's the thing: if there's one thing that the live action Lion King taught us, it's that Nathan Lane cannot be replaced as Timon, and the other guy whose name I'm forgetting at the moment cannot be replaced as Pumba.
Oh,
no, I know. No.
Right?
No. Seth Rogen was in live action.
No, I'm
He's
talking about
the animated
animated
version.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Those two can't be replaced. They tried.
No.
They did okay, but they can't be replaced. And if that tells us anything, Timon and Pumbaa are the better of the two, because I'm sorry to say, I do feel like somewhere, somehow, they could probably find someone to play Kronk in a live action film, which they should never make.
Patrick Warburton, that's him.
I don't disagree with that. And if they brought him back, I'd be okay with it. But I'm sorry. We're going with Timon and Pumbaa, which means, ladies and gentlemen,
I think you did this just to put the pressure on Scott.
I would never.
I think you just did this for the drama, Scott.
I am hurt that you insinuate such a fact.
I know.
Oh man! So really, no pressure this time, but you actually determined the outcome now.
I am going to need Scott to side with me and Frankie and finally prove that Danny has absolutely no clue what she's talking about.
Hold on, before you cast your vote.
For the right one every week, so Danny's vote counts.
Before you cast your vote, keep in mind he also plays a guy in a wheelchair on Family Guy. I'm also in a wheelchair. I'm crippled. Ixo facto. If you vote against me, you're ableist. Go ahead and cast your vote.
And I would like you to know that Frankie is a Trump supporter. So if you vote against Trump, Frankie, you're voting against a Trump supporter. So keep that in mind.
That means I have great taste.
And John wears socks to bed, so.
This has just become us insulting each other to get Scott on our side.
All right. I'm
chair.
I got
We're all
50
just
bucks,
going to
Scott.
shut up.
All right,
now.
I'm just going.
Everybody, quiet so Scott can focus.
We're going to let Scott have like 4 words before someone interrupts him and changes the course of this show.
So I do want to say, Danny, you know I love drama, so I'm totally fine with this. But for me, I've been weighing this out all week, thinking about it. So we have Timon and Pumbaa, and we have Kronk. Two from a more successful movie, one from a movie that is beloved but not so successful. Both had different TV series. Both have starred in their own sequels. But there's one who I feel that I think is a better misfit because they are more misunderstood. They are more
the suspense is killing
individual.
All right.
I thrive off of this. Reality TV is my only sense of joy. So
we'll be right back after this commercial break.
And the winner is so for me, I am going to have to put my vote in for Kronk.
Oh, I'm sorry. We must have lost him. My bad.
I just think as misfits go, I mean, he's misunderstood by Yzma. He's misunderstood by Cusco. Nobody really gets him until
the squirrel does.
He finds his girlfriend. Yeah, a squirrel gets Kronk, and that's about it. I mean, he sings his own theme music, and I feel that. He just feels more misfit.
Scott,
can I just?
If I remember correctly, you love Tangled, right?
My boyfriend does love Tangled. I am a big fan of Sword in the Stone.
Oh, we did a Sword in the Stone episode.
We did.
Yeah.
That would have been
obviously Scott doesn't listen.
Don't call him out like that. No, because this means that our finale is going to be the Pub Thugs from Tangled versus Kronk.
And but we're not going to answer, but I am very curious to see which way you would sway.
Okay. That is actually a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. Because the Pub Thugs, diverse group, they all have their own interest. The song is just hilarious. Kronk, he, like I said, as misfits go, he is one of the top. But honestly, out of those two, I feel like Kronk is he can be more understood by more people than the Pub Thugs can. They had to form their own chosen family, where Kronk he's hireable, he's always there. But these guys are just their own people. They are only surrounded with their own because that's the only people that understand them. So I'd probably vote for the Pub Thugs.
That's why I love you. This is why I love you, Scott. Because we all know from day one who I was going to try and get to the finale. We all know. Steve, I wasn't talking to you.
So, can I just take 1 sec? I just want to say one thing, and I want to see if it's going to cement you in your opinion of Kronk versus Timon and Pumbaa, or if it's going to sway you one direction over the other, right? I'm just going to say the name of a movie.
Okay.
That is Lion King 1.5.
I do love Lion King.
Thank you. I mean, thank you. I mean, yeah.
I really do love Lion King 1.5. And really, not so much for the movie, but for the bonus feature on the DVD that was like a ride where you chose your own adventure.
Yes.
That was almost more interesting to me than the movie itself. It just had that really good song of Dig a Tunnel, which I really, really love. I think I still have to give it to Kronk, though. Like,
right. So I will be honest. All week, I was voting for Kronk. All week. I'm like, we can't have this figured out by the third vote. Like, we have to give Scott something to talk about. So I kind of just went with it to get the drama going. I'm okay with this result, and I'm already I know who I'm voting next week. So
I'm gonna have a full-on case prepared, so I can go first and try to sway you guys, because it's fairly obvious everyone's going to be going for the pub thugs. So I'm going to.
I don't know.
Actually, I was about to say, I think it's really going to be a good toss-up.
I think it is too. I mean, we all know I'm going to pick the pub thugs because Tangled is my religion, but like Kronk is.
Look, all I know is my wife's mad at me because Ray didn't make it. All right, so that's all I know.
That's a fair reason to be mad at you, though. I mean, Ray deserved to go on.
You know what she's not saying to you, Frankie?
What's that?
Don't make me use my butt. All right. Well, Scott, we appreciate you jumping on with us. You are more than welcome to hang out with us for the remainder of the show. We're just going to be talking some Disney news, some things that came up throughout the week, and then we do have some stuff that we're just going to chit chat about at the end. So you are more than welcome to stay and chat with us. If you've got better things to do, like go hang out with your boyfriend and talk about the Norway Pavilion, even though your opinion's completely wrong. I understand. We get it.
Look, they just had a good argument. Okay.
Oh.
Well,
so, but go ahead.
I was gonna say I do have to go start cooking dinner, but I do really, really appreciate you guys having me on. I had a great time, and I can't.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining us.
Stream, though.
So you want to plug yourself before you go again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitter at Scott021 or look up Dyslexic. You can follow me on Instagram at Dyslexic96, on TikTok at Dyslexic, and then you can listen to the Dyslexic podcast every week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, etc., and so on, wherever you listen to podcasts. And again, it's all about theme parks and Disney and Universal and Cedar Fair and Six Flags and roller coasters, and anything you want to do with theme parks is going to be on that podcast.
There he is, right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Followed by the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Right,
Bye.
All right. Now that we got rid of the loser, I'm just kidding.
Jeez, John, what a dick.
I'm just kidding.
You geriatric fuck.
All right, so I guess we'll hand it over to Frankie. Frankie, we can talk about some Disney news here. I know you've got a couple. I've got a Disney news thing I want to bring up, and then I know Steve's got one. So if you want to take the first two, and then we'll go from there.
Yep, I got it. So actually, when this got released, date's already passed, but April 8th, Disney World guests may start removing their face mask while taking photographs outside, which I think is a sign in the right direction of them opening up more. I do know earlier this year they said face masks are here to stay until the end of 2021, but they are now starting to loosen it up a little bit. What are y'all thoughts on that?
I think I want them to get it all figured out before I go in July, because I'd prefer not to be wearing a mask walking around outside. Like, I'm cool with it putting it on when I go in the attraction. I'm cool with it when I go in gift shops. But like when I'm walking around outside, I'm responsible enough. But I also realize people are idiots and there aren't responsible enough people. So
well, I I think it's a step in the right direction, and I think it's a good way for them to kind of put the feelers out to see if people are ready to responsibly unmask more and more versus people that are just going to downright break the rules and make asses out of themselves. So I think it's a good test and a step in the right direction.
And like for me right now, whenever I'm outside, I don't wear a mask. Actually, me and my wife, we went to Lowe's today, and they have the outdoor section because we were actually buying some. I don't remember what they're called anymore, but tomato cages and Travises or something. Plants. No, not plants. But anyway,
things that your cows eat.
But anyways, we're buying some stuff outside. I didn't have my mask on at all when we were outside because we're outside. It's not in the same air and everything else. But as soon as we go into the store, I put on my mask because, it's just being respectful to other people. To me, I really hope that Disney gets into that mindset where as long as you're outside, you don't have to wear your mask. Because like John, I'm really not looking forward to wearing a mask in the middle of the summer. This summer when I go, But if it's a requirement, I'm not going to break the rules because I don't want to wear a mask. I'm going to wear a mask,
if the difference between me going to Disney is wearing a mask and not, I'll deal with it. I'll find a way.
Exactly. I don't care if I have to have tubes with AC kind of keeping me cool, running around. So
a camelback with the hose going into your mask.
Exactly. So, but yeah. Danny, do you want to say anything about that?
My biggest issue with it is that unfortunately the state of Florida hasn't given cast members access to vaccinations as much as they have other people. And I don't think it's fair to the cast members who have to be there for their job to be surrounded by people who aren't wearing a mask, especially like PhotoPass or, even people just cast members nearby, I think it's kind of unfair. And until Disney offers or the state of Florida offers vaccination to cast members, I'm not a huge fan of it.
So I'm going to answer Brandon's thing, and then I'm going to come back to your comment.
Yeah,
Brandon, to my knowledge, you do not have to be vaccinated to visit Disney. I don't even think vaccine passports are a thing yet.
Yeah, Florida even straight up said they're not doing vaccine passports. Yeah. It's the whole deal. I will say, go back onto Danny's though, and this is actually a news item I forgot to actually put up there, and Danny kind of reminded me of it when she was talking about that. But Disney is actually going to start paying for the cast members' vaccinations and giving them a 4-hour window to pay. Payment.
Okay, I did see something about that on Twitter.
And the other thing is, after you get your vaccination, if you don't feel like working, you don't have to go back to work. They're giving you that 4 hours window of pay to go get your vaccination because they do realize that their employees are at risk. So I do want to point that out.
So here's the other thing, since we're on this topic, and I'm only doing this because I have somebody that I'm close to that is a cast member. They posted the other day on Facebook, and I'm going to read the verbatim without giving away who this person is. But thanks, Disney, for making some appointments available at work. My appointment was for 8:30, and I showed up at 8 a.m. It was simple, smooth, and quick. I was in my car and leaving by my original appointment time. And then they actually have a picture of their COVID vaccine card with a little reminder from Disney, and I can't show you because that person's name is in there. So yeah. They are making it available for cast members. Now, The point I wanted to come back to is that, and I'm trying not to start a huge debate here, so let's just be clear on that. How is that any different than your average person working in the public sector?
So, I'm of the opinion if you are a frontline worker, you should have already gotten the vaccine should have been available to you. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole nother issue in itself. That's it. It should have been available to. Realistically, the vaccine should have been available to more people quicker. But unfortunately, there was a slow rollout, and it is getting to people. I know here in Arizona, starting, I believe, this week. It's available to everyone, so that's really great. My other
issue as well.
my other issue that is unique about Disney is most people are coming off of planes. And while the CDC has said now if you're vaccinated, you can get on a plane so long as you wear a mask, like it's safer once you're vaccinated. You know, in your hometown, I don't know, it's easier, I feel like, to gauge where the numbers are at. But when you don't know where a lot of people are coming from, and you don't know as much, you know, about who are they on the plane with, who, you know, the things like that. And quite frankly, as much as I love Disney, I still don't think the park should be open yet, or they shouldn't have opened when they opened. You know?
Okay.
I think they opened too soon. Though, Michelle, thank you. Yeah, I got my vaccine in the second rollout, so I was very thankful for that teacher's towards the top thing.
Man, the comments I want to talk about.
No, this is not the show for it. Brandon, me and you can have that discussion later. Brandon, I know what you're trying to do, but we're not that show.
So Danny, I know this might be hard for you to believe, but I do agree. I think Disney World opened too soon. I do think now would be the time that you would want to start phasing it back open. I think their approach to Disneyland is interesting, but I also know a lot of that has to do with California.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's no starker difference than Democratic California and Republican Florida. And you could just see how, and again, this is not a Republican versus Democrat thing.
Yeah, no, but it's
see the stark contrast between the one park and the other park.
Yeah, no, had Disney World started opening now, I think a lot of people would feel more safe because more people are getting the vaccine. But I think the thing is a lot of cast members, a lot of cast members lost their jobs and a lot of cast members lost friends at work or had to move positions and all these things because of what was going on. And, you know, I think Disney opened prematurely. I know Disneyland's reopening. I probably won't go for another year or so, you know, just to let everything kind of even out, you know. Oh, she chilling. Your kids are dating this week.
Yeah, she thinks she's cool now because she knows Dad's on YouTube, so she's trying to get some of the starlight here.
She thinks you're famous right now.
Yeah, I'm YouTube famous.
You haven't broken it to her. Dad gets a
blistering 3 views a video at best.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end that there. So another news item is that earlier this year, actually, I want to say it was late last year, Disney has announced they are no longer running the Disney Magical Express, which is the bus transportation from the airport to the resorts. And they said the last time they're going to run it at the end of this year. Well, this week, Mears Transportation, which operates the whole entire Magical Express, has came out and said they are going to add routes from the airport to the Disney resorts. So when I was looking into this, there's a few things they're going to charge. Yeah, they're going to charge. But they haven't came out with the numbers yet. I think they're waiting until later in this year where they actually come out with numbers and everything else. But apparently it's going to do the same thing that the Magical Express does. I don't know about baggage about that yet. I still am trying to figure that out. But that's as much information as we've gotten so far. Have y'all heard anything about this?
Yeah. So go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I've been keeping a close eye on it because I'm actually planning on doing a very quick Disney World trip October 2022. So about a year and a half from now.
Okay.
So I've been keeping an eye on transportation because when we booked the trip, Magical Express was still a thing. Mm-hmm. And so it's definitely something I'm keeping an eye on. And I'm still slightly irritated that Disney just took away without offering something new. I think Disney has been doing a lot of that recently, and Not a huge fan of that.
I think it goes back to what we talked about last week with the whole, like, is this something that would keep you from going to Disney World, period, with basically being unable to plan properly.
Yeah, and I mean, I know they're doing the train, but for someone like me who is planning a trip, it's super, inconvenient. And I don't know. Me and my mom were planning to stay on property, but slowly, not slowly, Disney's losing a lot of the appeal of us staying on property, because what's the point? If we're gonna have to pay for parking, if we rent a car, we'll have to pay for parking, and all these different things, no transportation, stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm still not super pleased about the whole thing.
John, I know you want to say something.
Yeah, so I've been trying to look it up since it was brought up. I was under the impression that Disney Magical Express was operated by Mears anyway.
That's what I thought,
Yeah, so I'm trying to look that up just to get confirmation on that. But I mean, so I've been going to Disney World since 2000. In 2000, you had to book a Mears shuttle, and they'd pick you up at the airport, and they would drive you in like these yellow van that said Mears. And as a kid, I'm like, oh, Mickey, ears, Mears. Like, I thought it was Disney. So we would always take that shuttle to the airport, right? Then Disney announces this Disney Magical Express thing that they've been doing for years now. It is. Yeah, it's Mears. So I guess maybe Mears provides the buses and Disney operates the service. I don't know. So I guess it's interesting to see how it changes. But I don't know. I don't think this is that big of a deal. It's almost, from what I'm reading, it's almost identical to what we have, right?
Well,
so Mears offer guest scheduled services, which is what Disney Magical Express has, luggage handling, which is what Magical Express has, convenient airport terminal staging, and return trips from hotels to the airport. That's exactly what Magical Express is.
The only difference is the Magical Express was free, and Mears is talking about charging. Now, we don't know the cost at the moment, but still, which I could see that, because Mears is not going to provide something for free.
What I wonder is if Disney paid Mears.
I think so.
And like realistically, the fee for Magical Express was in your room charge.
Yeah, they just hit it.
Yeah, but again, it's just, I understand. I would understand
it's no different than what like Comcast does with ESPN, for the record.
Yep.
Yeah. I would understand more if, Disney said, hey, we've never offered this. This is how it's going to be, but it feels like Disney. And I think Station 71 kind of worded it well, was like Disney is just taking away without giving more reasons to come back. And I mean, Universal is getting competitive.
They are.
Universal's becoming real competitive with Disney in terms of, theming, rides, resorts, water parks. I mean, Universal definitely has better water parks. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
So
the question is, how much can Disney rely on their name? Is going to be the real.
I know this is going to ruffle feathers. And Frankie, I'm going to call out your wife. Can you throw her comment up here on the page?
Charge what the heck?
Yeah, the charge one. Yep. So there is a podcast that someone turned me on to recently, actually yesterday. And I'm trying to find it because I want to make sure I get the name correct. I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it the one Mario sent you?
Yeah, it's Symposia Disney. And on their second episode, they were talking about this thing. And I think they brought up a very good point. And this is especially if you understand how business operates, right? Because there's a lot of people, and I work with them on a daily basis, who just think business is there to give you things and you don't have to pay for it, right? I think there's this misconception that, okay, I pay, and I'm just going to $1,000 for an annual pass, right? So now I'm an annual pass holder with Disney. I can go as often as I want to, with the exception of blackout dates. And because I'm an annual pass holder, now I should get discounts, and now I should be able to get, free food, and now I should get this, and I should get this, and I should get this, right? So I think if you actually value out, go ahead, give me a sec, Danny. I think if you actually value out what you pay for all of those things individually, right? Transportation, if you're going to, say, the Bahamas, you got your airfare, you got the bus that's picking you up, you got potentially something that you're renting while you're there, right? What am I missing?
No, you go ahead. They're not laughing at you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you've got your transportation, you've got your admission, you've got all this stuff that you're paying for a Disney vacation. If you actually valued that out, it's going to be more than what you're actually paying for Disney. I'd be willing to put money on that. 100%. I'd be willing to put money on that. So by them getting rid of these things, they're just revaluing it, you know?
No, absolutely.
All right, Steve, what did I miss? Is it Danny's face?
No.
Richard
I'm
Deshaw.
uncomfy.
Richard Deshaw said, I prefer Danny Express the last time I went there. Richard being Danny's dad. Ethan Legg then says, that means something else on OnlyFans.
All right.
All right. I see it. Thank you.
Anyway, I'm going to move forward. I think the difference between passholes who say things like, well, I should get this and this and this for free. Disney never offered those things. Disney never said, oh, if you're an annual pass holder, you get free food, and now we're taking it away. Disney never did those, so that's people assuming. I think the problem here is Disney was offering this, and for no apparent good reason is getting rid of it. Now, had they have kept it up until they opened the train, sure, that's fine.
We also don't know the reason why Disney actually ended the service to begin with.
I'm sure it's money.
There could have been like a big disagreement between Mears and Disney at the time, where Mears is like, we want more money, and Disney's like, no, we're trying to keep this free. So
think of it this way.
We don't know.
What if Disney took out, Space Mountain, just completely demolished it?
Mm-hmm. You mean like they did with Horizon?
Yes. And they said, they just demolished Space Mountain and go, oh, well, we're going to put something else here.
Mm-hmm.
And you were planning your trip around Space Mountain and not being there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Or if Disney, suddenly said, okay, well, we're not going to offer bus transportation around the resorts anymore. We can't do it. Or we're going to start charging you to ride the bus from your resort to the parks. Things like this that, it's frustrating because Disney has always felt very like they go above and beyond. But then now they're feeling like they're really nickel and diming you after you, I think Michelle's point is like, you're already paying. No, you're already paying so much. And they just are asking for more.
They're going above and beyond, but they're nickel and diming you to death. You can't.
No. What I'm saying is Disney is known for going above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
But with some of their recent changes, they're taking away those aspects that were making them go above and beyond. Transportation, free parking, things like this. And now they're starting to nickel and dime you after admission prices are already going up every single year.
Well,
and we're not getting that. It's not like, we're getting what? Okay, so we've had Toy Story Land and
Star Wars Land.
Star Wars
Galaxy's
Land.
Edge, yeah.
Okay.
Times 2.
Okay, well, I'm just talking about Florida right now because these are the Florida.
And Mickey and Minnie.
You got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway.
Mickey and Minnie.
We're building Tron.
Tron. You also got Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Skyliner.
Skyliner.
I'll throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would count Skyliner. Do you guys think that those rides and those attractions are completely worth how much Disney is beginning to charge? I could make a case for Star Wars.
I could answer your question by saying, do I have a vacation planned in this summer? Yes. So therefore, do I think it was justified? Of course, because I'm going to Disney World. You know, I paid that ticket price to go to Disney
Right.
World.
I'm going twice this year, so
Exactly.
I mean, I have to agree with what's up north here.
So
See, and like for me, if it weren't for the fact that my mom was coming with me and she hasn't been to Disney World in 20 plus years, I probably wouldn't go, because at this point, like, the only new thing that Disney has added that interests me is Star Wars Land, and I can get it on the West Coast for cheaper.
So
Disneyland is way cheaper.
I want to hear what Steve thinks, because Frankie and I are going to Disney. I'm going twice. Danny, you've been to Disney. Steve hasn't been to Disney in years, and I'm curious what his interpretation is, because he's about as close to the demographic of the person that would be going to Disney.
Correct,
He's a
yes.
dad. He's got kids. He is from the middle of the country. Like he's our base, you know. So
I think for somebody on like an average income like I am, I think it's too expensive. I mean, the only things that are even minorly attractive for me would be like Star Wars and the Marvel stuff. That's it.
Now, what I'm curious about is
the way Disney World is, it's set up for like Steve to save up all of his money in a couple of years to make that once in a lifetime trip. Whereas, and you know, me, John, we're going, like, I'm planning on actually going twice this year. I just haven't started the second plan.
Yeah.
John's going twice.
I mean,
this year.
I'm DVC. Well, let me rephrase that. My parents are DVC. I just take advantage of it. So
but you know, but
For
at the same
me-
time, so Disney, for us, the ticket prices aren't there. But also, I mean, like when I set up my budget at the beginning of the year, I have a Disney budget to be able to make sure that's how I'm able to do it, you know. And I mean, we don't go extravagant. Like, it's not like I'm staying at the Polynesian, you know. We go to where we can afford. Now,
you also make cuts in places so that you
correct.
can. I love that Danny raises her hand.
I know, right? She's such a teacher. I love it.
It's easier than trying to like interrupt you guys.
No, you go ahead.
Steve, what I'm curious about is with Disneyland having the exact same Star Wars land, and Disney California Adventure is going to be opening Marvel Campus, which is going to be a whole Marvel land.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be, and Disney is cheaper because you can really do it in 2 to 3 days rather than having to do like a week at Disney World. No, you can. You can, if you do 1 day in Disneyland, 1 day in California Adventure and Park Hop on the last one, it's easy. I've done it 1,000 times. You can do everything.
It's typically how I do it too. But anyway, go ahead. I'm
So,
sorry. I didn't mean
knowing
to
that information, and you can walk from off-property hotels that are typically cheaper.
I can't walk anywhere.
I was going to
Fair.
say, let's not get carried away with the.
But what I'm saying is, knowing that, would you be more likely to go to Disneyland or Disney World?
I'd probably go
Six
to
Flags.
Disneyland. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I mean, again, I'm the average Joe that's never been, so I don't know what I'm missing. So if I don't go, I'm not going to be disappointed. So if I can go, if I can get more bang for the buck, yeah, I'm gonna go that route.
Yeah. And see, like, Disneyland doesn't offer free transportation from like LAX. That's never been a thing.
No.
But nobody complains because they've never offered that. You know, like nearby hotels will offer shuttles onto the park. I've done that before. But, you know, this is why Disneyland is the superior park, in my opinion.
I don't
It's
disagree with
cheaper.
that statement at all. I just,
It's
I
cheaper,
don't know.
and you can get, honestly, Disneyland is better than Magic Kingdom. There's more stuff to do. You have the interactive characters, and California Adventure is quickly just it's basically Hollywood Studios. You know, it's but it's Pixar and it's great. The theming has gotten so much better. So, you know, like
I can't make the comment which one because I've only been to Disney World. Now I do want to plan a trip in the future, and it's probably going to be like a next year trip. Hopefully you could join us, Danny, and we have a blast. But,
I would love to, because Disneyland is only like 6 hours.
I mean,
talk politics all day long there.
Yeah. No, I'll be in California. I am not going that route. I am not.
You're in my land, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll stay here in Texas if we're going to talk politics. But no, But so until then, you could tell me it's better, but I don't know, and the reason why is because I haven't. So, another news topic, Steve. I know you want to talk about something, so go ahead.
Mine's not really news. It's just a little thing for the Marvel folks that listen, because Disney. So the new Spider-Man movie coming is a huge thing for all of us Marvel fans. Tom Holland's been the best Spider-Man we've had, in my opinion.
Amen.
And I'm just going crazy waiting for it, and all these little pieces of news and little pieces of rumors coming out, and the biggest one's been with them attempting to do a Spideyverse situation by bringing in Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. And we've had little things here and there that have kind of pointed that direction, and then we've recently have heard confirmation that the Spanish voice actors who do the dub work for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have been brought in for Spider-Man 3. So, I mean, in my head, if you're bringing in these specific people, obviously we're gonna see them in some capacity. I mean, at that point, there's really no way to deny it, and I'm super stoked about it.
Go ahead, Danny.
Danny with their hand.
Steve, do you think we're going to see Miles Morales in this new movie?
No,
I don't think so.
no.
I think we will.
I
think it's going to be a cameo.
Well, okay.
Okay, cameo. Okay.
Maybe as a cameo, yeah. As far as like in an active Spider-Man role at this point, no. Maybe if anything, if I'm gonna guess where we're gonna see Miles Morales, I bet it'll be a post-credit scene where he'll be introduced in some capacity to get started down that path of him becoming a more active role in Spider-Man.
All I care about is Spider-Pig, played by John Mulaney. That's all I care about.
I hate John Mulaney. John Mulaney is awful.
Check him out. Get rid of him.
John Mulaney's my
right.
favorite comedian.
He's gone. Steve's off the show. I'm done with him.
John Mulaney is
so
the
bad.
funniest person in my opinion.
All right.
Oh.
I'm falling for this one. Okay, Brandon, I can tell you right now, I love Miles Morales, and I'm going to tell you right now, he is actually one of my favorite Spider-Mans because he comes from one of my favorite comic book series, Ultimate Spider-Man. So
Not to mention, Miles Morales has the coolest powers, like Spider-Man.
They're totally different. But
yeah, he can go invisible and shit. And John Mulaney sucks.
But no, actually, if we do get
John, you and I know
hope
what we
it is
need
a
to
cameo.
do.
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of we gotta kick him out of the Discord.
He's as bad as Kevin Hart.
Okay, Kevin Hart's not a good comedian.
Thank you. Okay, at least we agree there.
Kevin Hart, it depends on who he's playing with.
Kevin Hart's funny because he's obnoxious.
He's funny with
you
whoever
heard the
he's
comment
with.
I just made. I saw that smirk on your face.
I know. All right. So,
All right, well, on that
moving
terrible
on.
disappointment, yeah.
Okay, but so real quick on Miles Morales, I think Sony has really, after Into the Spider-Verse, I truly think Sony's going to slip Miles in somehow, whether it's post-credits, a quick cameo, whatever it may be, because he made too much money for them not to include him in a Spider-Verse. Plus, let's be real, there's going to be a lot of white men playing Spider-Man in this movie, so having a little diversity couldn't hurt Sony.
I could tell you right now, Spider-Verse as a whole may be put on hold due to the fact there's a lawsuit going on about who created the Spider-Verse. So a lot of people think it was in the comic books, but actually the writers of the animated series, the Spider-Man, is claiming that they're the ones who actually created the Spider-Verse because they actually had an episode where they came up with all these Spider-Men in it. I mean, it's one of my favorite episodes. I've seen every single episode of that cartoon. So the Spider-Verse may be on hold right now due to lawsuits on finding out who's the actual creator. So I don't know.
But that doesn't mean they can't have Miles in some capacity because he's not, you can use the character, especially because Sony does, I believe, have rights to Miles Morales.
I don't know. What seems more logical? The fact they're going to throw Miles Morales in there and totally derail the Tom Holland stuff, or that maybe Tom Holland becomes the new cameo in all the Marvel movies replacing Stan Lee.
I
But
do.
he gotta keep his mouth shut. So
Deadpool
will
needs to
better.
be the new Stan Lee. I'm
I was
telling
gonna
you.
say, yeah, we need Deadpool's
Yeah.
the new Stan
Oh,
Lee.
Deadpool would be the fantastic.
Oh yeah, you
man.
know.
Oh yeah.
And he looks straight at the camera and just says something.
And the thing is, you can with him in his costume, you can dress him up as anything, and it's funny.
Oh yeah.
Well, something just happened that has never happened on this show ever, and all four of us agreed on something. And that was the fact that Deadpool should be the new Stan Lee. So mark your calendars. This is the one and only time this may ever happen. But to bring the show back on a proper keel, let's have a discussion about unpopular Disney opinions that will definitely in no way cause the four of us to argue at all. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Oh wow, that was all right. Danny, you had your hand raised. I'm going to say Danny first.
She got her hand up first, and then we'll go to Steve.
Oh wow.
All right. Here is my Disney unpopular opinion. I'm gonna get some shit for it. Dole Whip is one of the nastiest snacks at Disney World. Here's the thing. It melts terribly. You get sticky. And listen, after you spend a summer emptying trash cans full of melted Dole Whip that's curdled in the Florida sun. Oh god, I'm getting nauseous thinking about it.
All right, I give you that one. I'll give you that.
Up covered in pineapple juice and you smell like pineapple juice all day. I can't do Dole Whips. I think they're gross. I think they're overrated. Realistically, you can get a Dole Whip so many other places, and it's not. It has no reason to be as popular as it is.
All right. So Michelle just came into here and straight up looked at me and goes, "What's wrong with her?"
All right, so I will say I will agree with Danny to an extent. Now
Citrus
I did
swirls
not
are
have.
way better.
Okay, we're done. We're done. I'm out. I was
Citrus
gonna agree.
swirl-
and you have to throw that shit in there.
Citrus swirl is the best Disneyland snack.
I'm all
No,
for Dole Whip. I love.
I
Dole
was
Whip.
gonna say there is a massive difference between the Dole Whip in Disney World and the Dole Whip in Disneyland. Okay,
Oh, is
the
there?
Dole Whip in Disneyland that you get in the outside of the Tiki Room at like the Dole Hut or whatever it's called is light years beyond what you get at Disney World. So I will give you that one. I will agree with you there, and I'm sure it's terrible to clean it up. I was fortunate enough never to have that luxury, but Citrus Swirl is shit.
Citrus
Sorry.
swirl is the best thing at Disney World. It's tangy, it's sweet, it's creamy. It doesn't just taste like an orange dreamsicle. It has actual orange juice with it, so it's tangy. So good, and it's the thing I miss most from Florida. Out of
All right,
every
well,
little thing, it's the one
Let's
snack
go
I
to
miss.
Steve.
All right, because I'm curious to see what a very unpopular Disney opinion he has when he's not really Disney.
He's like Disney shit.
He's like
Go
Disney
ahead,
sucks. I
Steve.
hate that show.
I think Six Flags looks like more fun than Disney.
Oh wow! All right. Well, we're looking for a new co-host.
No, hold on. Why? I want to hear this.
So, as somebody who doesn't have a possibly psychologically damaging addiction to Disney,
Oh, real quick. My dad's comment. Did you guys see they're bringing back Club Cool?
That was the news I was going to talk about today that we bypassed because we ran out of time. But yes, let's let Steve finish and then we'll come back.
Sorry, I just thought of it and my brain exploded.
So as not being a Mickey Mouse groupie, just from the overall, I don't know, the vibe I get from what it would be like to go to Disney World versus what it would be like to go to Six Flags looks like the difference between visiting the Vatican versus Las Vegas. Like Six Flags just looks like loud, in your face, obnoxious, crazy fun with crazy rides and like a lot of fun. And then Disney World, it's like old people having like New Orleans pastries and drinking tea out of Mickey's butt crack or something. It's weird. It looks like a retirement home.
It is in Florida, so.
All right.
Interesting.
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand it. I don't agree
You
with
guys
it.
stop agreeing with me.
No, and I think
People don't come here for
Six
this.
Flags exists to be an alternative to Disney. Yeah, like my dad said, Six Flags
Yes.
has way better coasters. There's
They're
no
more thrill
denying
seeker.
it.
Yeah, if you're more of a thrill seeker, Six Flags is the place for you. You know.
See, that's
But-
me. Like, I'd rather go like pass out and be nauseous all day from roller coasters than like full of like overpriced food and like overpacked crowds.
See, and here's the thing. I've been to 2 Six Flags. The one in Denver, which I don't remember super well, and I've been to Magic Mountain.
Michelle's right.
I went to Magic Mountain the day after I went to Disneyland. And for me, I was like, oh, this is dirty. Like there's trash everywhere. Yeah, the rides were better, but the environment was not great. It felt like an old dingy theme park, and that wasn't my vibe.
All right. John, I saw you counting. What were you counting?
I was trying to count how many Six Flags I've been to. I think it's 3 for sure. I can't remember if one of them was Six Flags or not.
Oh, okay.
So,
All
all right. I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
Oh God.
And I've got a couple. One of them I know is just gonna infuriate people. The first one is that, and this should come as no surprise because I've said this before. Under new management
Oh God.
is way better than the original Tiki Room.
Oh.
By far. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I loved under new management. Now, don't get me wrong. There's something great about going to Disneyland and seeing the original Tiki Room show and just knowing that was supposed to be a restaurant and the history behind it. Like that. Awesome. Cool. I'm fine with it. But Disney World, it was different. And it fit into the Aladdin theme that they had going on there. Like it had a great storyline. I don't mind that it was great. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was something different. I think it's better than Frozen in Norway. No one in particular.
I've got no comment to you because I've never got to experience under new management, so I don't know. I haven't even seen a ride through or a YouTube of it yet, so I can't make a comment or comparison yet.
All right. So, do you want to know my second one, or am I going to be?
No, go ahead.
Go for it. We're clearly going over the time limit.
Let's go ahead and ruin your reputation.
I think that Disney should raise their ticket prices to combat overcrowding.
I'm going to say that's an unpopular opinion, but
I think that Disney should raise their prices to combat overcrowding. I think Disney World is
what
crowded.
that means is John doesn't believe that poor people should have happiness.
There it is. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, at Six Flags.
And most of us don't, so we're already halfway there.
So, okay, seriously though, John.
Yeah.
In your mind, yes, there's overcrowding.
The twisted place that it is, yes.
Yes. So, how, let's look at Disney history. All right.
Okay.
Disneyland was originally decently affordable, even with the tickets, the e-tickets and so on.
You could, but I'm going to stop you there just for a sec because the whole tickets process, you got to ride what you could afford.
Okay, that is fair, but Disney overall, how do I phrase this?
I think the ticket book process was flawed because, like I said, you got to ride what you could afford, right? You got to buy like A-ticket attractions, which were your people eaters, which took a lot of people. And then you had your E-ticket attractions, which were, they didn't eat as many people and they were the more adventurous types and those cost the more money. So, I mean, we're talking cents, not really dollars at that point. But, in the 50s, cents were cents.
Yeah.
So but I think that...
My thing is, though, is how... Okay. People want to experience Disney, and especially as as a former cast member as well as I do, these once in a lifetime trips, they mean so much. I mean, I've had once in a lifetime trips that were somebody had cancer and was dying, and this was their last vacation with their family.
Well,
so why do you think it would be better to raise the prices and stop those people who this is their trip. This is their trip of a lifetime. Get that smile off your face.
I'm smiling because I know I've triggered you.
Yeah.
Big time.
No.
That's why I'm smirking. It's not because I'm an asshole.
Why is this our favorite pastime, guys? This has to stop.
Why not implement the reservation system if you want to stop overcrowding?
Well, here's the deal, though. If you make it even more cheaper, which means more people could afford the parks, which means there's going to be more overcrowding, which means at the end of the day, there's going to be
my wife. There she
way too many people in the parks to begin with, so therefore it becomes unenjoyable. You're going to have a lot more unenjoyable.
Well, why not implement the reservation system like they've been doing now, where Disney can control how many people are there and not raise the prices?
Well, then you're going to be waiting for 3 months before you could go to Disney. When you're like,
all you're
I
doing
only
is
have time
more
off.
Money in Disney's pocket. You're paying more money to corporate America. Like, you really want to give more money to Disney? Like, don't get me wrong.
We already gave them so much.
I have mental illness. That is why I love Disney. It is purely childhood trauma, guys. Like, that is why I'm here. But
Richard, I blame you.
Yep, blame my dad. This is all his fault. But, no, I don't know. I just have such an issue with, and I agree, Alicia, going is giving them money. But I don't think that money should. I know as a kid the happiness, and sorry, Dad, I'm gonna kind of throw you under the bus. I come from a divorced family. Like, it's no secret here. And Disney for me as a kid was the one place my parents really didn't fight. Like, that was as a kid my happy place. So the idea that a kid wouldn't be able to have that happy place because their parents can't afford it. Mm-hmm. I have an issue with that.
But I can't believe I'm about to say the words that I'm going to say. But I think Alicia has a point.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to throw that up.
Somebody get the lawyer out.
It is a want. However,
can't believe I just said my wife has a point. What is that?
Alicia,
that's weird.
I love you. I'm trying to take you away from your husband. But
I've heard Danny has bigger balls.
I'm slowly trying to take Alicia and Michelle away from their husbands.
Yeah, you'll give them back.
You're not. I'll give her away. It's okay.
Perfect. We can start a Harlem here in Phoenix. But I think that something like Disney should be accessible to everyone because it is such a happy place for me. I think that everybody should have the experience to. I think everyone should be able to experience that happy place. And so the idea of raising prices, I don't love it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you brought in cancer and you brought in all these types of situations, right? Why should somebody have the ability to go to Disney at a discounted rate, but not be able to cure their cancer at an affordable rate?
Yep. 100% agree.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
But, I thought you were going to say, why should someone with cancer be able to go to Disney? I was like, oh, so you hate Make-A-Wish kids now? Is that what we're doing?
God. Listen, I'm an asshole.
For the record, fuck Make-A-Wish.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You got denied?
Did you get denied?
Check this out. The year I turned 18, where I was both too old and not dying, they changed it to Crippy Boys and Crippy Girls and not just dying people. And I missed out on all of it. I just wanted to make out with Danica Patrick.
The doctor should have ripped you out 1 year later.
Danica Patrick.
That's all I wanted.
I don't think that would qualify as a Make-A-Wish. Anyway, Frankie, who did you want to make out with, and why is it your unpopular opinion?
All right, so
Martha Stewart.
I don't know how unpopular this opinion is. I do know in some other shows it's very unpopular, but I will say that Happily Ever After is a way better show than Wishes.
Get out of here. No, you're 100% right.
Oh, I'm sorry. There she goes. All right. And that's not the first time that's happened.
It was Wishes' time to go. I will say it once. I will say it again. Wishes needed to go.
I didn't like it at all. I mean, and to me, I don't remember much of Wishes, even though I went to the parks.
Would you like me to
Wishes
recite it for you? Because I can do that right here, right now. Recite the entire thing.
But no. But I am obsessed with Happily Ever After. You know, I love Happy Ever After. No, Danny, I'm not letting you. What do you want to say? No, we're not starting that.
Happily Ever After is a better show.
Oh,
Wishes
God.
purely has sentimental value, and
It's
think
nostalgic.
it is,
It
yeah.
is.
And that's truly what the whole Wishes thing is. It's nostalgic. When I worked there, Wishes was the show. John, I'm sure when you worked there, Wishes was even the show.
It was the
You know,
show.
and
Did you put up Alicia's comment?
we are.
I know.
And the next
It's-
one after that?
And the next one.
There it is. Okay.
I think they both do a good job at evoking emotion, because the first time I saw Happily Ever After, the You'll Be in My Heart made me sob. I was full on sobbing. But Wishes,
No, I'm just kidding.
I think Wishes had more, I want to say like magic, if that makes sense to you guys.
Aren't wishes magic?
Yeah, you know, I just, you know, even
Your wishes is my illuminations.
yeah, and see, I hate illumination.
I don't know.
So-
Anything. Can we do a rides episode on these things? Because what's coming into my mind is clearly not what these things really
So
are.
I will say the one place where Wishes was far superior than Happily Ever After was the fact that Happily Ever After is a projection show, whereas in Wishes is a fireworks. You could watch Wishes anywhere
Yep.
in the park and be able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
experience it the same way. Like,
Ollie.
but like we went to the Polynesian a couple of years ago to watch Happily Ever After. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Even though they did pipe in the music and everything, it still was not the same. In
Mhm.
order to get the full effect of Happily Ever After, you have to be standing in front of the castle to watch it. You know, whereas in Wishes, it didn't matter where you were. You could have been at Polynesian, you could have been at the tower, wherever that tower is, or
Of terror.
Ooh, look at
Tower of Terror.
us.
But
Guys, we did something. We
oh,
got an
wow.
award.
oh wow, yay for us!
I don't know what that means, but we're kind of cool now, I guess.
But
messages.
that's the
Also,
only thing that
Wishes did better at using a more classic IP. I think, you know, it brought more of those classic characters in, which I think more people can relate to those classic characters than, you know, necessarily the newer ones. It's, you know, as a whole. But yeah, I think Wishes is still, I think the narration by Jiminy Cricket at the beginning was better. I think the actual fireworks, like you guys said, you could see them from, I mean, no matter where I was working in Magic Kingdom that night, I could pretty much always see Wishes.
Mhm.
You know, and so I
I
think
still
Happily
think
Ever-
a better fireworks show is the 50th anniversary, but
Oh, at Disney?
But
Yeah,
I will
Disneyland.
say
The soundtrack, I believe that's the one with Julie Andrews, right?
that is the one with Julie Andrews. Yes,
That
they
is
brought
the
her back.
best.
She was the 50th ambassador.
That is the best fireworks show and soundtrack Disney has ever done, because they pulled from all the rides
Yes,
and it got you hyped.
and the Matterhorn was a pirate ship, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
they went
you
to
know,
war with the castle.
yep.
Yep.
You know, you can't beat that one. But
Just Steve, just so you're aware, the Matterhorn, that's where the Yeti lives.
yes.
Oh, I'm aware. Notice that Disney doesn't have a chupacabra in their park, though.
because they can't, because the Chupacabra is so badass, they can't even properly depict it.
They also can't bolt him down, so there's that too. You know what Disney does bolt down? Those small children in It's a Small World.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
would love
another unpopular
one of these
opinion.
days to do a discussion on what has the better ride. You know, we kind of argue over the better rides at each park, because like Small World and Disneyland is superior to Disney World, and I'd love to be able to like argue it out and talk about why we think.
Oh, Danny, you and I are going to agree probably Exclusiville and everything.
100%.
Yeah,
That's why I think it'd
it's
be
also a
interesting.
little unfair because like two of us hasn't been to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole
So,
point. You got to argue why yours is better.
But no, another unpopular opinion I do have is I actually very thoroughly enjoy the Move It, Shake It, Mouse Could Dance It party.
I love that show. It's so much fun.
Me and Danny agree on something. Holy
It's
crap!
so Much.
Sounds like a
Pixar
furry thing.
It is a little. Nick, you know?
Yeah, it is a little furry. Yeah.
See,
It is.
Country bears, now this. There's a thing.
Oh. Listen, I've dated enough furries that it had to have rubbed off on me at some point, right?
I'm sure several rubbed off on you.
My dad is here. My
Well-
father is here.
Well, according to Ethan Lake, some things belong on OnlyFans, so...
Oh, all right. Well, anyways,
there's our obligatory OnlyFans record for this evening.
Yep, there it is.
We need to start making bingo cards for this.
yes, we
Yes.
do.
If your bingo card wins, you get a prize.
If we ever
Triggers
do this on a
Danny.
night where my daughters are not home, we'll make it a drinking game.
Ooh.
Oh, we'll be so smashed by the end.
It's gonna have to be a Saturday night thing because I cannot go to work.
Yeah, I was about to say it'll have to definitely be a Saturday.
They're
night.
like, they're like,
In
why are
the,
you
actually, I'm gonna put it
hungover?
in the comments. Let us know if you would like to see that happen live on air.
Oh, mom's here too. God, my mom's just lurking. Hi, parents. I only talk about your divorce on a live podcast, so
I'm gonna
Doing good.
wrap this up with one question to the two of you. Steve, I don't know if you can do this one so much just because you've never been, but Animal Kingdom is a full day park. Yes or no?
No.
Frankie.
Yes.
Danny.
Yes.
no.
No.
That's exactly how I thought it was gonna go.
I've been to that one.
All right, John. John, answer your own question. I'm curious to hear what you say.
I worked at Animal Kingdom, so I think I am the best authority to answer this question. And the only acceptable answer to this question is no. It is not a full day park. It tries to be a full day park. It does a really good job of trying to be a full day park, and I think it's gotten better. Shut up, Rick. I think it's gotten better in the last couple of years.
when I went in 2002, I think I was like 11.
So it was when John celebrated his 75th. Go on.
Yes, it was on John's 75th. Yeah, we hit that on like day 2 of our weekend trip, and we ended up with a little bit more time at the end than we thought we were going to.
I think if you truly sat there and did every single thing that Animal Kingdom had to offer, you could probably pull a full day.
I do pull.
Yeah.
So whenever we go, and when we go, we're actually that second day we're going to be in the parks is our Animal Kingdom day, and we will probably be in the parks from open to close. And we do a lot. And I'm not just saying we just do the rides or anything like that. We actually go around and we will do the Explorer Badge, Senior Explorer Badge Club. Like, because I am seriously trying to get my Senior Explorers Badge. All right. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I really want to become a Senior Explorers Badge. Also, we go around and
Alicia
do
is
the rides.
judging you right now hardcore. She came into the basement where I do the show, and she is giving you looks.
But she still loves me. I know it.
No,
But
she loves
anyways,
If I had to
we
choose
will
a
do.
favorite podcast host here, it would be me.
Well, at least she didn't hear the part where John said that she was older than him.
She is older than me.
Oh my God.
But no, we do a lot.
Okay, so she's just getting caught up, and she's going, "Oh, I do love Frankie."
But no, but also at the same time, when we do our parks, we don't go to the parks straight back to back, doing one thing to the next thing to the next. We take our time. We enjoy ourselves. We enjoy the moment, you know. Now, if we went around and did everything back to back, like running everywhere we went, yeah, I could see that Animal Kingdom be a half-day park. But because we take our time, we stroll. I enjoy where I'm at, you know. When I go into Pandora, I look around. I enjoy the artistry of Pandora. You know, I actually do look at the actual Tree of Life and trying to find new animals I've never found before. Because,
Nerd.
yes, I'm a nerd.
Frankie,
What?
you're listen, if you said one thing.
I said a lot of things.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at Ethan's comment. If you had said one thing, I might be swayed to agree with you. And that one thing is that if they brought back Restaurantosaurus, sponsored by McDonald's, I would agree. That might push it back into the full day park. But
So
since they
one
got rid of
sponsorship because of a sponsorship, not because the restaurant's not there, but because of the sponsorship. Oh, wow.
Hey, Alicia, Ethan wants to know, when did you get your AARP card?
Well,
She can't tell you it's a HIPAA violation.
She can't remember.
John was a founding member, so I'm sure she got hers after still.
Oh, man. Well, has anybody got anything else they want to add before we wrap up this train wreck?
I do have one thing I want to add, but it is based on us wrapping up the show. So if anybody has anything they want to add to this topic, now is the time.
Go, Carly.
All right.
No,
I'll
I'm
take
good.
that silence as a no. So the one thing I want to add is that it is currently 9.
Damn light like that?
I do have a ring light. Yes. She's yelling at me now.
You bought what?
To yourself?
To myself.
John with his 14-year-old girl setup.
Oh, man.
So it is 9:15 at night here on the Central, which means it's 10:15. So East Coasters, we're sorry we kept you. I know, Steve, it's past your bedtime. But as a result, the new episode has released this week. And this week we sat down and watched Lilo and Stitch. And Alicia's giving me another look. You need to get out of here. You're distracting me. We watched Lilo and Stitch, and we sat down and we discussed some of the themes that we saw in that. And I will tell you that Danny may have gotten a zinger on me, and it may or may not be in the bloopers at the end of this episode. So you may have to sit all the way through it to find out if that actually occurred.
And don't skip to the end. It tells us when you do.
Yeah.
Also, so something I wanted to bring up is, and I bring this up because I think of my father. So we have been doing, I don't even know if we completely agreed on this, but I'm saying it anyway. Every week we talk about our Apple review contest, where if you leave us a review, you get entered into a contest. Well, it has occurred to me that because my father does not have Apple, that he cannot review us and be entered into the contest. And listen, I would love, yes, Lilo and Stitch is a part of the theme.
Yes, Carly.
It is. I would love for my dad to be able to get that candle so I can get that candle. So, if you guys do not have Apple or you listen on Spotify and it's easier, go ahead and screenshot. Mom, I'll show you how to screenshot. Don't worry. Screenshot you listening to the podcast. Just take, a quick little screenshot of you listening. Post it on your social media and tag us. That will count towards our the contest. So if you guys go ahead and do that, we're going to mention it on the show this week. But John, how many are we away from the giveaway?
I couldn't even tell you. So give me like 30 seconds and I can do some basic math here.
So go ahead and do that. Give us a tag. Even if, the candle smells really nice. I had the air freshener, so I can contest that it does smell very nice. So we need 13 more. So Mom, Dad, Maria, Carly, Ethan, Michelle, everybody.
Alicia, my own wife, who hasn't even rated my own show yet.
Yep. Go ahead, do that. Tag us, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to tag us on. Just give us a tag. Yep, TikTok, whatever you want to do. Tag us. You will be entered into that giveaway. We'll count that as your review. So thank you. That is my soapbox. I thought of that because I'm not only beautiful, but I am a genius. So Steve is just like,
I'm sorry. Did she say something?
Oh, thanks, guys. We all know I'm the hottest one here.
Carly, yes, we did get yours. Thank you for the.
Only because you live where it's like hotter.
I got the sexy librarian thing going, man.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've bantered enough.
Going for me, so I'll take it.
All right, so homework for everybody. When you get off here, go do the thing with Danny. Take that screenshot, post it on your social media, and just say something nice about us. You don't even have to say anything nice about us. You could literally say we're the worst show in the world. We don't care at this point. We just want some type of exposure. So if you could do that for us, we would greatly appreciate it. There is a benefit to you. We still have the candle, we still have the room spray, and we still have the wax melt. So there are three opportunities. Stuff. There are 3 opportunities for you to get something. So
and if
go
I
ahead
can
and do
win,
that.
Anybody can win.
It's true.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that
and
the
who
truth?
knows? You might eventually become a host on the podcast. The whole point is you win the thing.
I wasn't going to say anything, but okay.
You know what, John, after seeing how this experiment's gone, we're gonna have to find a new co-host a different way.
So yeah, go ahead, do that. No, in the future, we are working on coming up with another way that you can get involved with the show, and air quote advertise for us. So yes, Danny.
Thank you. Yes, wives can win. I'm making that a deal. No.
They already won. They got us.
Yep.
I'll fix that. Don't worry.
She gets to hear about the show before the show comes out. So yes, she's already won. If
you guys have ideas for games, contests, things that you guys want to see on this live show, shoot us a message. If you're related to us, just tell us, because half of you already are related. Thanks for supporting your children and your spouses. But if you guys have ideas, shoot them our way. We do this because we like to interact with you guys, and we want to do what you guys want to see. So make sure, if you guys have a movie request, if you have a Disney movie you'd love to hear our crazy thoughts on, let us know. We do this because not only do we all love talking about it, or in Steve's case, he likes being funny, but we love getting to share this with you. And, this isn't just our podcast. This is like everyone involved.
If we didn't have you guys listening, we really have no reason to do it.
Yeah.
It would just be a group of 4 people disagreeing on
yelling into the void.
Yeah, so I mean, that'd be us anyways. But no, seriously, even if it's a podcast show idea, we could always use some good ideas. If it's like you have a specific ride you want us to do, like we did our Splash Mountain ride. So, or if you have an idea of a new segment onto our shows, let us know. We'd be happy to include it, and we'll shout you out.
Genuinely, we really love hearing from you guys, and you guys are the reason we're doing this. So please, if you have any ideas, we'd love to hear them. Plus, we're not creative. Look at the 4 of us. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Nah.
We got to stop doing Danny's ideas, guys. Help us out.
Yeah, that's true. It's so true.
All right, so let's talk about what's coming up here. You guys are going to go out. You're going to do that. You guys are going to download the Lilo and Stitch episode. You're going to listen to that. What we are going to be doing is we're going to sit down this week, and I'm going to give you a little spoiler. We are going to be watching Fox and the Hound, which does fit into our theme. And then for next week, Sunday, we're going to have the March Madness Finals in April. We're going to have the Marvelous Misfits. We're finally going to find out who that is. Is it Kronk? Is it the Pub Thugs? And of course, we wouldn't be able to do that without bringing our dear, beloved, hated friend Mario on this show. We're going to bring him on. He's going to be discussing the finals with us. He's going to help us vote. And then he's going to stick around. We are going to be playing a game that I am devising, and the other guys have no clue about it. All they know is what the show is going to be. All they know is what we're going to be playing, but they don't know what I'm coming up with. And Daddy's having fun. How's that?
Ooh, I like that idea.
What do we get? Weirdly aroused.
We have some ideas. The theme could be weapons and violence. Who knows?
Oh my god.
No one will know until the end of the season. But thanks for the guess. We appreciate it. And
say anything bad about Fox and the Hound? What's bad to say about that boring movie?
I guess we'll find out. So yeah, we're going to be sitting down. We're going to be watching that. But in the meantime, of course, we appreciate you guys sticking around. We do this for you guys every week, as you said. We do it for ourselves too, because we just love doing this. But we're conceited.
Yeah.
Yeah. To put it on live YouTube.
We just want to see our faces.
Other than that, thanks again for joining us. We do appreciate it. And until next week, my name is John. That's Frankie.
My name is Frankie.
Over here is Danny. I don't know which way she is. And then up in the corner is Steve. We will see you guys next week, Sunday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, with Mario on THR Live. Episodes drop at the same time, and we'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.